it's Jenny. Welcome to another process video. So for this layout, I'm starting out with some watercolor paint that I got at my local art shop that was only about $12.50, has two little levels of different colored paints, and it is really pigmented. So it's beautiful watercolor paint to use. So all I'm doing is I wet my page down a little bit and I'm using a paintbrush straight onto the water palette, and I'm using an orange and a yellow and drying that up with the heat gun. So I apologize that I don't get all of this video. Yet another one where my video recorder stopped working. So if this is going to frustrate you, then I apologize, and perhaps you might like to turn off now and not keep watching. But for those of you who would like to watch to the end and see some still shots, you are welcome to do that, because I show some close-ups towards the end. So predominantly what you missed out on was me sticking everything together and adding some final touches with some watercolor paint around the die cut pieces, and also adding some black ink splatters. So, and some texture with a black ink pad, I think. So all I've done is I have pulled out these die cut pieces that I've had from Kaisercraft for probably 3 years, and it had lots of butterflies and bird cages and bits and pieces, and all I've done is I'm layering them on my page where I think I might like them to go. So this is just a video to show how you can make the most out of your stash. So if all you have are some die cut pieces and you know, some white cardstock, and you have some paint or something, then you know you can make your own beautiful background just by thinking outside of the square a little bit. So I love to do layouts with white cardstock and just add colour to the background, and you know, do it that way. So it makes for a very pretty look. So all I've done is I used watercolour paper that I had to cut down, and I cut it down to about 11 3/4, and then so I can mat that onto a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock and just have a little bit of colour popping out underneath. So I've just gone along with my pen and I've highlighted all the edges of the white cardstock, and I've pulled out these rub-ons that were also in this collection. So this collection, like I said, had been in my stash for a long time, and if you don't know already, if you leave your rub-ons unused for a long period of time, they actually, I don't know what happens to them, but they are really difficult to rub off. So you will see me struggle with these rub-ons and painstakingly taking a lot of time. Just remember that I've sped this video up and it's still really a slow process. So they did eventually come off, which I'm really happy about, but it did take a long time. So all I've done, I'm doing is adding a rub-on border underneath where I want the photo to go, and then I end up putting some rub-ons along one edge of the photo as well, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a border without using paper underneath or layers of paper. So it's a fun way to use up your rub-ons without it being really thick, layered with paper. So here I go, just rub and trying to get them to work. And you might notice a little bit of different lighting. I'm hoping that it's going to work out really well. So I have bought 2 new lamps. In my house our houses are constructed with a method called double bricking. So it's not easy to install PowerPoints for extra lights, etc. So installing new lighting isn't an option for me. But I did grab 2 lamps, and I've strategically placed them around my craft room, and that means that I can craft at night and tape as well. Whereas I could craft at night, but I couldn't videotape because it was adding too much shadow. So hopefully this has fix the problem, puts a little bit of glare onto my table because my big craft table is dark blue. So you know, you'll see a bit of that, but hopefully the video color and everything looks fine to you, and I can do it at night time. So as you can see, continuing on with these rub-ons, finally getting them down, and pretty much going to add my photo and start placing some things. So I know that I want to put a title up the top there where that little card I've tucked underneath, and I end up using, you won't see it, but I do actually put that blue card back, and I use the thickers from Dear Lizzie, the beautiful gold thick scripted words, and I put smile on the top of that area there. And I've cut some of these butterflies out of the 12 by 12 piece of paper that was full of butterflies, and all I do is layer the butterflies up, and like I said before, I add some areas of the beautiful watercolor paint to highlight some of those butterflies and that little die cut flower piece there. So this is where it is just about to cut out, and you will see some stills. So hopefully you'll be able to see what I've done. You'll be able to see the watercolouring and just some splatters and the final finishing touches. And the next process video that I have planned to put up as well, I'm doing the same process and with the same die cut pack, so you will see the whole complete process with that one. If you want to see how I actually did the watercolouring around the little bits and pieces, you will be able to see it on that one. So just having a look at this little sticker sheet and pulling off some of the butterflies there, and I pop them all up on foam dots, so the butterflies go up on foam squares, and just gives them a little bit of dimension off the page. So there I am, just putting those foam little dots on now, and just seeing where I would like them to go, making sure that the colours aren't all grouped together, and just sticking down this foam. It's not foam, sorry, it's not a foam flower, just sticking down this die cut flower that was in the pack as well, and putting some of the little flowers onto the some of the little butterflies onto the flowers as well. And I just put the bird cage up there and drew a little chain. And so here I go, thinking that I would like to outline this yellow card as well. So just doing that before I stick the white piece down. So I'm just sticking that down, and it's about to cut out. So I thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you like the stills at the end. There we go, you can see how I finished them off, and adding a little bit of colour and highlighting different areas. You can see around the flower I've put some grey, and on top of the butterflies I've added some more yellow, and I've added some of the yellow paint to the top and bottom of the page as well. So thank you for joining me today, and I will see you on the next process video. Bye!